It would. Wanna find a bike? I pay you tomorrow. Who knows something about that? Who in here knows something about that? Huh? That's old school. Johnny Guitar Watson. Johnny Guitar Watson. Who knows something about Johnny Guitar Watson? I don't know nothing about no Johnny Guitar Watson. Ain't nobody old school in here but me, man. Huh? Come on, people. Come on, people. Let's get to it. It's Friday night. Everything is all right. Come on in here, China. What's going on? How you feeling? Oh, you ain't got your mic on.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. There she go. There she go. Coming in here looking all crispy. Look at you. Go ahead. She's shining on us tonight, y'all.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead. Latu Haruna came in here first, right after China did. Yes, she did. Kimberly Ortiz. What's up, Dawn Casaza? Hey, Kern, is that you, Kern? Beth, Mikey, Britt Brett. How you doing, Britt Brett? Jennifer. What's going on, Jen? Elaine B. Lane B. What's up, Elaine? How you feel? My main man, Will Power of the Hour. It's the Power Hour. What's up, everybody? It's the weekend, and we can ready to get it started. It's a holiday this weekend. My. What's going on? Linda Rose. Linda up in the house. How you feeling? Sherry Core. What's up, Sherry? Sherry. How you doing? Librarian Josie Ferry. Sharon Lewis. Jay's in the house. What's up, Jay's? If you old school, then name a Johnny Guitar Watson song. If you old school. Huh? If you old school, name a Johnny Guitar Watson song. Yeah, say it in the chat. I'm going to read it.
I'm old school.
Hey, what's up, Frank?
I don't know one.
Frank Bustos. Is that you, Danita Joe, up in here? Got an entire Danita Joe in here. There's the rest of the trio. There she go. We got China. We got Keisha. Man, we about to get it all the way in. We're going to get it all the way in, ladies and gentlemen, up in here. What's up, Danita Joe? Just like candy. Yeah. I say when you walk, it takes over me. Yeah. Y'all ain't know I had that Larry Blackman in me, did you? Y'all ain't know that. Yes, indeed. Old school. What's up, Victoria? I see you. I see y'all, man. I see y'all in here this evening. How's everybody? Is that you, Tressa? Is that Tressa over there? That's Tressa over there. What's up, Tress? What's happening? You in here with us? God like 33. Yeah, we going all the way in on that tonight. What's up, Sherry? Beth, Mikey, Dre Williams. What's up, Dre? Ooh. Yes, indeed. My main man, Frank, in the house. Portia. Oh. What's up, Harriet? Must be my cousin. Name Harriet. Lillian. What's going on, Lillian? Josie Furry. Did I jump anybody? I hope I ain't jump over nobody. I hope I did not. I'm trying not to. Boy, did y'all hear that DJ work? Did y'all hear that? Man, I'm trying to tell y'all what it is. Okay, I'm trying to tell y'all what it is. You know, DJ is on point this evening. I just want to say, just a special shout out to the love from the family. What's up, Eve? Yes, indeed. Thanks so much for being a sponsor this evening. I mean, girl, Eve and Danita Joe. Of course, Connie is. Come on, Connie Barnes. Yeah, man. There's some special people out here. There's some special people out here, y'all, because yes, indeed, we are going through, man. Whoo, boy. Man. It's some people going through it out here right now. Good God. Good God. It's some people going through right now because things changing. Things are changing. That's for sure. And they changing fast. It ain't just changing, it's changing fast too.
You know that Sam Cooke song, that change gonna come.
No, my brother is here. That change is here. That change is here.
They tripping on my name today.
Y'all see her? Y'all see? Look. China done turned into Joanne. The maturity. See, the one thing about it. Let's say this, y'all. Let me say this. The beauty in this is you get to watch. Everybody gets to watch, all three of us, in real time as we elevate in life, as we go through our revolution, our change, and our elevation. Okay? And that's what it is, Joanne came to hang out with us this evening. She said, okay. She said, look here, y'all, listen here. I got to call it like it is. This is what it is. And I ain't mad, because, that's what it is out here. You got to say, hey, look, this is what it is. This is what it's going to be. And that's how we roll from now. Okay. How y'all doing this evening, ladies? How do y'all feel on this evening?
I feel amazing today.
Mm-hmm. I'm in Ohio, man. They tripping out here. They are tripping.
Why they tripping up there?
Because they want to. Because it's the whole world is a stage. Man, you got stuff going on. They just the first narcissist from Lockland, Lincoln Heights. Okay, that's where he at. That's where they at right now. And they doing their thing. It's a whole thing going on about that. And it's it's staged. Everything is a distraction. Ohio is a hot spot politically for everything. Stargate, all of that stuff. It's just a bunch happening here. I'm looking to relocate.
Oh wow. Okay. That's her. Listen, it ain't gonna be much different everywhere else neither, because
I'll talk about what God. It's just I don't think it's gonna be better globally. But it's it's definitely they just tripping, but it's I see what's behind it. I just see the whole staging of it. And so it's just a lot, it's just a lot happening, but we gotta just keep showing love to each other. Like we don't want to be brainwashed by the programming. And that's it. If we keep our humanity, our love, we don't have to revert to whatever programs they trying to throw out there. And then it would be hard for the technology and things that they have to overtake us and control us, our minds.
I heard that. Well, you know that just like I do, they're gonna try. They're gonna try with everything in them.
Yes.
So, that's nothing new, and that ain't nothing unusual. I'm learning the hard way that truth is really, really more weird than fiction. The truth is more weird than fiction. Yes, it is.
Did y'all hear the announcement that he made globally?
What's that?
The announcement that there really, like on a global thing, there really don't need to be a need for money. We knew it was going to come to that, but Elon was on there saying that it's really no need for money. They got these AI computers, all of that stuff going for all of these jobs, and they can do it better. And people should just go ahead and be on that universal income. And, they probably just want to cipher out the energy source out of life, our soul, pretty much. But it's just, that's where it's going, because everyone was on board. Like, this was at the most recent thing. I think he just announced it like a couple days ago, or if not yesterday. But yeah, so they're doing it. Like, this is warp speed, and it's just inevitable. But we still have humanity, and we still have God. We still have life. Like, they can put things on a stage, but as long as everybody understand, they truth and still have their humanity and love, it's not too much that they can do to overrule us. We have to give it away. It's like narcissism. We have to give it away. Like, we have to be deceived. So we have to hear the twisting of the truth, and which is a lie. And then we have to believe it and get deceived to give away our essence.
So I guess that saying that I was supposed to say was the truth is stranger than fiction. And I see that, like you were saying with them saying that money, there's no real need for money. Yeah. What you guys aren't seeing when someone admits something like that is that, oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, God is good. God is great. God is wonderful. God is it and everything. So what you're not seeing is that that's that person admitting from the top of the food chain that the lie we've been telling y'all is a lie, nothing but a lie, always been a lie, always going to be a lie. And it is crumbling. It has fallen. The world has come to an end. And they're trying to do everything. They are scrambling to do anything that they can do to hold this world together. And they cannot. It is for everything in this world is deception. Everything is deception. Everything we see, the symbols we see, they're all here to deceive us. No, they don't want us. We don't need money. Because listen, for a system that was created to enslave the minds of the masses, that system has totally fallen apart. It has now shown itself to be a total, complete fraud. It is showing that even though, ladies and gentlemen, if you could just see this on a much more broad scale, if you could just see that everything we consume, everything that we own, everything, I'm not going to stop saying this, y'all. They selling us stuff that's free, man. You selling somebody stuff that's free and you giving them the money to buy it. And then you cheat them out the money. You tax every dollar that they spend at every cash register. no matter how much money they get, every time they spend money, the money gets taxed before they get it, and as soon as they get it, it gets taxed on everything they purchase. It's set up so that even though all of the money still goes right back to the kitty, the system still has failed. It still has fallen, which means that the leadership is not worthy of leading. That is what it means, people. The leadership is not worthy of leadership. And they have now qualified themselves. They have now qualified themselves to be the slave that they tried to make us. Ladies and gentlemen, the world, as you know it, it is over. It is the end. This is the end of the world. And it's a beautiful place. It is a beautiful place. It is a beautiful place, man.
That's the end of the stage. Like it definitely here.
I think that this is God's way of balancing everything. I mean, because there has never been a bigger stage for exposure. And it's definitely a lot of exposure that's coming out, and it's due and it's needed because these people have been running around wreaking havoc for decades. And, it's always had a name scientifically. But, with platforms like this, we have given it a real name and a face, and it's a demon. But science won't call it that. But that's exactly what it is. This is all spiritual.
Yeah.
And God had to expose it this way so that we can see it this way, because we would look at it as it's just normal human behavior when it's deeper than that and it's bigger than that. And this is just God's way of exposing everything and creating balance, because everything is unbalanced. The devil has always had a head start on us. And so now God is creating it where we can, fight. Even he's fighting for us and we don't even know it. But there's nothing greater than, the enemy attacking you and you don't even know it, and you win it. And you don't even know that he's attacking you. And that's the greatness that God had put in us, is to be able to fight the unknown without even knowing what's attacking us. But now we know because we have put a face to this.
Yes, we have seen, we have understanding. The worst thing that could happen to this world is that we grow in understanding of what it is.
Yeah.
That we grow into a maturity and start a mature level to be able to start seeing everything for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I knew when they started degrading the U.S. currency, I knew right then something big is about to happen. And what we've seen over the years, the ups and downs, what we don't see anymore is, and what we don't realize is that this country has always fought to stay on top, has always been known to be the bully, go around beating up on whoever, whatever. And we've always been the one who had weapons of mass destruction. Well, we're not the only ones with that anymore. Excuse me.
But what we have to, it's really important, and I hope people, consistently tune in for this truth, because it's really important that we understand exactly what is happening, exactly the truth of what is going, because they're silencing the truth. But what's happening, this is a Babylonian system. Like this system was already predestined to fall. So it's going to fall. It's written in the Bible. It say Babylonian fall. It say, whoa, they cry and all of that. The beast that's rising up now, that's AI. AI is going to destroy the Babylonian system. However, Christ's going to come and destroy Babylon. So this is an end of an age, and we're all wrapping up. They're scrambling for their survival. These are, they're not even all the way human. Okay, so we're just the celestials, they call them archons. So if people want to search the terminology, because in the scientific world, in the philosophy world, anthropology world, they're using terms like archon, and they're using archetype. So when you say archetype, that comes from Jung. Jung talks about the personality types. Narcissism is in there. And this is what I was trying to explain in the beginning, studying these narcissists, how they're two souls in one body. Well, they've been experimenting on them for a time, like just forever, because they abandoned that soul, that moral compass. They're spiritually dead. So when somebody is spiritually dead, like no love in that heart, these beings, they call them archons, they can come in and it's like constantly doing black magic rituals and occult bloodlines. That's where we get to generational curses. Say mom's a witch, dad's a warlock, they out there in the forest doing forest demonic things. So they have children. These children are like the Damians and the Omens, that's them. So these children are portals and gateways for demonic forces, entities to dwell in their body. They keep having children. They have wicked children. So we have encountered in our generation, that's what these narcissists are. They come from the people that have dedicated their bodies to be altars, and in their bloodline, they kept choosing wickedness. So Jesus will present himself, hey, you can have your DNA changed, take my blood, take my life. Your behaviors and epigenetics can change your DNA, so you can be programmed for God or programmed for Satan. But if you have a dedication to Satan as a child, you already want to gear towards the evil side. You got to be really, really persuaded. That's breaking generational curses to go to the God side. So these things that's in the White House all over globally, they are just altars for these celestial beings that has been here since they opened the portal with CERN. And then what they have done, they took the DNA or the essence of these things, these beings, and these lines, cell lines that they call immortal cell lines, HEC 293, that's in the food, that's in the different, injections or medicines. And then they start putting them in people, and they wanted to see how many times do they have to do that before it can change a person and make them an alter without consciously knowing. So how the narcissists are, they switching demonic spirits in their body alters. Well, they want to see if somebody is not practicing black magic, can they do that chemically? And they can. They figure they can. The only thing that prevents it is if the human spirit is alive by being born again, it blocks it. But you got to be spiritually alive to do that. You can't be a walking zombie being spiritually dead. Now, spirit and soul is different. Spiritually alive, it take God.
And a lot of people think that when they leave, they run off into the sunset. No, they run off into more darkness. Because we are the light and they know it. And so they keep us around and they go play in the darkness. And then when we close that door on them, they go out there and they collect other demons and other bodies. And so they're not running off into no sunset. They're running off into further darkness where they get into more things, and they free to do it, and they don't have to hide it. They're free to be themselves. And it looks good to you on the other side because they're enjoying being them without being held accountable to you and showing you the true them and the things that they want to do, like drugs and write bad checks and commit fraud and stuff like that. We keep them honest. We keep them on the straight and narrow because we know the consequences of doing something like that. So they want to go out there on the streets and involve themselves in that stuff over there because that's who they truly are. but they need us for that light and for that grace, because they know God has favor on our life, and to keep us around, they are going to be a part of that favor. But they can't have it both ways. They want it on this side, and they go over there and do something over there, and then run over here and think they're protected. And that's why they're keeping us around, for that protection.
Yeah, and they don't feel love the way we feel it. Like when we look at it like, oh, they're smiling, they might be happy. I've done it. I do it. I've done it quite some time. But you have to remember, like we know our emotions. We know human emotions. We know compassion. They study that. Like even the ones in the philosophers or professors or whatever, the ones that's they hybrid, they are so intrigued with humanity because they always going to be intrigued with creation, with God, but they know they can't ever be that, so they hate us because they hate God, because they can never have it themselves, and they become jealous and envious of it. They want to be around it because it's life. They have to feed off of it. They have to feed off the life force, but they're angry and they hate us because they know they fate. Like they know that's it for them. Like they might say like, oh no, I know I'm going to heaven or whatever. They gonna create a God of their imagination, but they really know is it for them. They know they can't even feel God. So they know if they can't feel God, how can they believe him? They know they faking, but they want to like be around, because anybody that has compassion and that love and everything that can be felt in passing. It's like having a fan in a desert, with some water. They fanning themselves with it until you stop giving it to them because you fed up with the bull crap and the BS. But once you stop giving it to them and they not getting that fan, they got to go get another fan, because they are out here dehydrated on love and compassion, because they can't intrinsically make it. We can intrinsically make it.
Yeah.
You cannot love. You cannot be in agreement with God. You cannot stand on truth if you are a devil. You don't get to benefit from anything that is good from God when you are not representing and you're not of God. So yeah, darkness is where they play, but in darkness, that's wilderness. You can't survive in darkness. Nothing in this universe can survive in darkness. Nothing. And everything must be around light. It must, in order to survive, it must be exposed to light. So they have to be around you. They have to. They're not around us because they want us, they like us or something. They have to be around us.
Yeah.
They can't just function and have us think that they're normal if they're not around light. And they're going to do anything that they need to do to stay in contact with light, even though it may be someone else, but they must stay in contact. These people, they truly look at us and they're like, wow, what is that? What is that? What does that feel like? What, that emotion that I saw it was some type of robot movie or something. And the robot or the extraterrestrial was asking the person, like, what does that feel like to cry? What does that feel like? And that's really what it's like for these people. You might see them cry, but it is a complete magic act for them. It is not any real or true emotion. It is truly desperation when you see them conduct themselves that way.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our topic of tonight. A narcissist is the creator of generational curses. They create these curses, and in your life, in your relationship with them, all they want to do is get you started for the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
And once you have children with them, they're banking on possibly that child or one of those children going left. They're banking on it. That narcissist, that devil is the creator of generational curses.
Yeah.
This is what this is all about. That this is what it means for them to make it into the hereafter. For them to be able to say, yeah, I know I ain't gonna make it, but my kid, my seed made it. Yeah, I might not get there, but my child, I was able to put myself into my DNA into someone else that's gonna make it, and we can keep this going because they know. Guys, I want y'all to think about something. All of the years that have gone by since the beginning, since even the Bible was written, all of the years of generations and generations and generations, how is it that with life only being a certain amount of years, how is it that this spirit of Jezebel, this spirit of what is that other one? Leviathan. How is it that these evil, wicked spirits are able to continue throughout time when it's not being played out by the same person? Jezebel isn't being played out by the same person. These evil, wicked spirits are being carried through generation to the next generation. And the same mindset that was here thousands, millions of years ago is still present. Because what? Because it was a time given to them where we wouldn't know who they were. Yeah. We wouldn't be able to identify. We would just call them crazy. Man, that person crazy. And now we realize, oh, that's what you are. You a real live devil. Okay. So now we get it.
Yeah.
And these people have gone throughout time. Guys, we live in a day of exposure. We live in a time of exposure. Mm-hmm. And when you see that world crumbling, that financial system that this monster done put together, based on robbing, stealing, thieving, hatred, larceny, pure larceny. We're watching it completely crumble. Everything in it. We want to say that, how nature is, doing different things, but we listen, this world has scientists that know how to seed the clouds, to make it rain, to make it snow, to make it do whatever they wanted to do. So we be thinking, look at God destroying the country. It'd be them scientists too. It's the devil too.
God destroy the country, the world, kaboom. There will be no world. He said, I will shake the waters, the earth, the sky, the heavens. That's it. One word. This is all. That's why it's a distraction, because even the believers are getting deceived because they're like, oh, well, we need to pray for this. We need to pray. No, this is the stuff that they're doing. This is going to happen. They at war with themselves too. The kingdom of darkness is systematic, but chaos.
Absolutely.
Everything is chaos. And so we've been contaminating the grass and all of that stuff. That's why you need chemicals. But when you pray over everything about sorcery and witchcraft and spell casting, this is how they got here. This is all witchcraft stuff.
Everything. And you know what else?
Prayer and the blood.
It's a punishment of individual thinking. Individual thinkers. You know, people that made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
I'm independent. I don't need this. I don't need that. I can do me. I can do my own. Yeah, you made a deal with that devil with that money, and look at it.
And it's
Look
mammon.
at how he leaving everybody that made a deal with him. He leaving everybody hanging. Ain't nobody. You could people that voted for him was sitting there thinking like, whoa, hold up, champ. You taking my job too. What you doing? Didn't nobody anticipate what was really about to happen. Nobody believed that it's going to happen on this level because we don't see it. Because, man, I'm going to stamp this, and I'm going to try to keep repeating it and keep saying it so we get it. The truth is stranger than fiction. So if somebody came out to us right now and exposed the absolute truth of what was going on, I bet you none of us probably wouldn't believe it. Or not, I ain't gonna say none of us. The majority of us wouldn't even believe it. We wouldn't accept it because our world has been built up around that same lie.
The system. We went to school. They taught us a
That
system in school. They taught us that certain things cannot be true. It's not real. It's mythical. It's all of this. But the spirit realm is definitely the real world, and it influences the natural. We are here on the natural, but we have authority on the natural, but they made everybody kind of sleep. And the enemy wants humanity to stay asleep, because if men raised up and they were the priests that they were supposed to be, they can take authority, put some things in place. If women raised up and they were the women they were supposed to be, they can take authority, put some things in place in their home. They're not supposed to be all Jezebelic, because that opens the door to witchcraft. It's easy for women to kind of go to the spiritual because we are nurturers and sensitive to the spirit realm. That's why the serpent seduced the females. That's how Jezebel came about. But there's a kingdom that Jezebel was enslaved to, and that's the Venus that's here. You know, all of that stuff is going on. They straight opening up. I got a whole video of somebody in Wisconsin just looking at the stars on the cam, and you literally see that thing open up and you see it shut, and it puts off energy. And you see all the things busy in the sky, like all the little demons and the witch hunters and all of that. They very busy right now. But we still understand the war according to Ephesians 6. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but them powers, principalities, the rulers of darkness, that's them archons, and spiritual wickedness in high places. So he gave us authority. We just need to learn how to use it. And that's the thing, is learning how to use it.
And we
Learning
being put in a position for that. We being put in a position right now where you ain't gonna have no other choice. And also another thing, you know, we really hard-headed. We hard-headed. You know, we've seen it, we've heard it, we've read it. People have told us, you know, that we're God's children. And we determine we just still want to baby talk and baby walk, and we still want to keep the pamper on, and we don't want to get out the walker and stand up and walk on our own or nothing, man. We just determine, you know, until God pull back and say, look, man, he know what we got to go through. He knows we have to go through. And the thing is we always looking for God's protection and not thinking. See, the thing is the greatest, the greatest trick that devil ever pulled on us was us not knowing who he was. Because when we don't know who the devil is, we don't know who God is. If you don't know who the devil is, then you don't know who God is. It ain't but two sides to this coin, ladies and gentlemen. Either you represent God or you represent the devil. That's it. Ain't no in between.
No.
They got us thinking that it's something in the middle. That's us, right? We in the middle. Nah, I'm indifferent. Nah, I don't do this. Nah, I ain't into that. Listen, man, whether you saying you believe it or not, your opinion don't even matter. For real, your opinion don't even matter because it's already been set up. It's already been set up. And if you join in the other team, make sure that you know what you joined. Just make sure you know what you joined, because a lot, I've seen that they trying to make people not believe, in God out here. They trying to trick people into, oh, ain't no, that's a mystery. There ain't no God. Where he at? What you mean, where is he at? You around God all day.
I want to say this. Generational curse starts with the parents. And when you have a narcissistic parent or parents, they make the living conditions so unbearable. And that's how we ended up dealing with people who folded under pressure. They couldn't beat the energy, so they joined it. And people like us, we were able to survive those unlivable conditions that we were placed under by our narcissistic parents. And so, and two, we do have to take accountability for our children, because we all know that narcissists do not involve themselves in their children's lives. They don't have nothing to do with their kids when they're in that household, but they keep us in a fog and so depressed that our children end up like them through abandonment. We abandon our children because of the stress and all the conditions put on us. And that's how it keeps the bloodline going. So we have to take that accountability, because we knew that we were in those situations too long. We saw our children suffering. Some of us may have had our children tell us they would rather us leave that situation, but we stayed. And so we have to take that accountability for our children, because we neglected our children being in that fog and being in those situations too long. But I'm glad I broke that curse with my boys, and my boys are nothing like what they saw. And I am so ever grateful for God for that. It had nothing to do with me, because I was so far gone that they could very well be just like that person, but they're not. That was God.
Yes, indeed.
Because everybody, like the enemy, how he set it up, even back in the day, like in order for the snake people, I'm gonna just call them snake people, in order for them, they knew they couldn't really overcome, God's people, so they mingled with them. So people who kind of pay attention to blood types or bloodlines, that stuff is everybody's DNA is tainted. Everybody needs the blood of Jesus. Like everybody needs a whole a DNA change. That's why Christ had to come give us some new blood, and our DNA changes from the inside out. So everybody is born prone to being wicked, because this stuff been going on for some time. So when we get to like third or fourth generation, like I said, I know I had ancestors, like grandparents in Eastern Star, and like Freemasonry. So those are some covenants that they sign agreements in to the third and fourth generation. So imprinted on the DNA, when people come out, it's like a cancer cell that's dormant unless you smoke. They call them carcinogenic cells. People have predisposed sixth sense witchcraft in them, because of generational curses, because of contracts signed by grandparents or parents, or because of the wickedness. So when they are practicing witchcraft by being a narcissist, so say the grandfather was doing this stuff, then the mom was like narcissist, then they had a child, you are already predisposed to be coming and being met with the demonic kingdom. So at a young age, I was taken out of my body, splitting at a young age in childhood, going to different realms or however. And then different stuff had happened, different traumatization had happened to kind of groom me to really be in that spirit realm doing stuff and just kind of dissociate a lot. So it's a lot of deliverance and healing they had to come for that. But God still was able to come. And then there's a decision that have to be made. Who are you going to choose? Now you could choose to keep doing things and then get education, or get this super smarts or doors open, or go off in this and get a lot of money, or this career, or you can choose God. That stuff, they're talking dark stuff and they want you to participate in things or do things, or you can say, no, I think I'm going to choose God. I started choosing God at a young age. He was drawing me at a young age. But
Mm-hmm.
family members still kept choosing wickedness. Like, I can use my body, I can seduce this person, I can get money for nothing, I can seduce this one, I can have 5 guys and each guy can give me like $100 a week, and then I don't have to work. Like, that's
Man,
the
oh
kind
man.
of training and mindset that they do, because the enemy will give a person a body, they'll give a person
There
looks,
you
they'll
go.
give a person a way to seduce and give good sex. That's Anani's Venus, that Jezebel was possessed by. So Jezebel was an altar for Venus, the celestial, and she had the hips with the BBLs, and she
Mm-hmm.
was over sexual seduction. So if you look up
Mm.
the Venus shell, she was supposed to have came as a naked lady, and that's what they do. So they give you all of these abilities in the bedroom, but it's not the person. They're just using your face and your body. You actually check out during the whole act, and they check in your body and they take that person's life force. So for women, when they are seducing a man, if they have this anana or succubus, the male's life force, because that war is with the seed of the man, is being taken every time. That's if anybody is with a female narcissist, they're actually having their life force taken. It goes to the kingdom of darkness. And when the snake lady and them down there drink it, they do things. They actually can rob your destiny. They take your children. They do like all of this different catastrophic stuff to your life, because they hate the seed of man so much. Because they were like, this was a curse in the
Hmm.
beginning, where
Yeah, you can see that.
the woman gonna crush the head, and the serpent seed will bruise his heel. But the seed of the woman is actually the birth of the child. It was Jesus. So it's a man who has the life seed, and so that's why they always are
Mm.
after that life seed. So men
Mm.
really get seduced by succubus
Yeah.
spirits, old hag spirits. A lot of them are enslaved to the marine kingdom and don't even know it. If they have dreams or whatever, and they being tormented or tortured or raped or having sex or doing things in their dreams, then the marine kingdom got some part of their essence that they need to get back. But that's kind
Yeah.
of where we're at with that. But that generational curse, the narcissists came to us like there's no way it could have ever worked. They're working with Team Satan. If you ever made it work with them, you would give up your soul. So there's no way it can work. It's like
There you
two
go.
kings. We in the
But
army
you
of
surrender
God's
that
kingdom.
soul.
They're in the army of Satan's kingdom. Two kingdoms where
Mm-hmm.
not it. They were the Trojan horse. So they were trying to activate the witchcraft in people, that gene, they was gonna turn it on. If they could have got bitterness, they could have got you to start speaking word curses. Things would have happened. Like, you about to go through this. Watch you gonna fail. Watch you gonna this. You gonna have accidents. You so wicked. Once they get somebody to start speaking on word curses, the kingdom that already had that bloodline mark for that generational curse can take them off into blind witchcraft. And that's the
Mm.
end game. That's how that whole thing worked with the narcissist. It's to try to
Yeah.
recruit and program people for that occult bloodline to open
That's
up in
it.
them and get them into witchcraft.
That's
And
all.
these people
That's
are,
what it is.
they are so wicked that even, somebody like us with all this knowledge and know all the twists and turns and ins and outs can still be taken advantage of,
Mm-hmm.
because they are
Absolutely.
that manipulative and that
Yeah.
evil.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
some way, somehow, they're going to get you. So we can't even be in situations with these people and make it work, no matter what you may think. A lot of people think because they know this and they know how to work, it doesn't work like that, because we are people with feelings and emotions, and eventually you're going to catch something for that person, and that's when they're going to get you, because we can't go to the depths of hell like they do and do dirt
Right.
to them and do underhanded stuff. That's just not our character. It's not in us.
That's
And
right.
you literally, to make it work with them, that's what you got to do. You got to become them. And they still gonna
Mhm.
cheat on you, and they
There
still
you
gonna
go.
discard you, and they
You still
still
gonna
gonna
be
come back to
betrayed.
you. It doesn't matter what you are, if you're like them or you're us, it's gonna happen to you. So it's best that you
You
just
got
get, either stay out of a relationship or get into something with someone like you, because it doesn't work. We can't even make it work.
That's
No,
right.
this is spiritual. This is beyond human. When you come in agreement with a spirit, a demon, they got supernatural stuff. We got authority over them. But if we give our authority up, they gonna kick our face in. They hate us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hate us hate us to the core of the essence of who you are. Yeah. But that's just simply because they know who you are. They know who you are and they know your destiny. That's that part right there. They know your destiny and you don't even know it. The reason we don't know it is because, again, the truth is stranger than fiction in the world that we're in. The truth is stranger than fiction. Just to hear and know the absolute truth. Guys, just on this show alone, I'm not even talking about the many other shows about narcissism. Just on this show alone, you've heard more truth that has been far crazier than any crazy movie or anything you've heard. You've seen it. You know, you're listening to people talk about the kind of stuff that they've done, and some stuff we still have not even scathed over yet because it is so horrendous. God, well, you know, let me read the super chat. Dancing Lobster. Thanks for the super chat, Dancing Lobster. Dancing Lobster said the safest road to a cursed life and after is the gradual one, the gentle slope without sudden turns or signs. Satan doesn't need to drag you into rebellion. He only needs to keep you comfortable in a life of acceptable sin.
Yeah.
Good God Almighty. Where did Dancing Lobster? Did you get out the Bible tonight? Did you get that out the Bible? Because that is the gospel. Satan does not need to drag you into rebellion. Just listen, as long as we're comfortable. And guys, that's what we're seeing. That's exactly what we're watching every single day. Right now, when you watching YouTube and all the creators now, that everybody's big on this gloom and doom. It's gloom. It's big on gloom and doom right now. This is it. The housing is crashing. The money is crashing. It's going to be worse than the Great Depression. It's going to be this. It's going to be everything is gloom and doom, and it's that way for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. And when we see things like we're seeing right now, we're seeing people lose jobs, but man, it's almost, I ain't gonna say it's nothing because it's still something, but we just seeing the beginning. They're just getting started on just breaking this entire system down.
See what Elon is saying. This is how, because he worked with the devil, but this is how he the beast. Like he really, that dude is. He introducing the system, but he's setting the stage for the Antichrist. This is happening, but what he does, just how the devil do, he takes a little bit of truth, and then he has a type of way of talking where it's just confusing enough for you to think, well, maybe it's like a gaslight on a whole different level. It changes your reality of what truth is. So basically, we work a lot because we really just want like food, shelter, and clothing. These are things God promised us. God promised us food, shelter, and clothing. He said, don't worry about what to eat, where to sleep, or anything like that. If he take care of the birds, he's gonna take care of us. That's faith. We gotta look to God as our provider. He will make a whole bird come out and with the fire and everything for you to eat in the forest or desert in the middle of nowhere. Water come out of a rock. We know what kind of God we have. He's supernatural. What they are trying to do is they are trying to be God, and they want to put people in that scarcity mindset. Like, oh my gosh, we're not going to be able to eat, so we're going to ration this. They have that UN thing where they said they want people to have 3 outfits a day, live within the 15 minutes of the smart cities, eat 1 kilocalorie a day, This is how they want to have the humans. And pretty much because the entities has to feed off of our soul because God didn't give them life, they would just use people for energy. And that's what that whole sustainable energy is. People, if they ever read like the UN things and sustainable goals and all of this stuff, like really, really read through all of that material. This is the end game. So, when you look at an end game that way, they can't be human as saying that, or else it would mean the end of them as well. But these are deities, and that's what they do. But he say things like, well, and we do a really, really good job. And, we got rid of all the jobs that didn't matter. And no, they got rid of things that matter to the communities. They got rid of the clinics that mattered. They help, people that didn't have the resources that they were stealing be able to go and get an education, be able to go to the health clinic, be able to go and have programs that help them deal with, violence in the neighborhood. They got rid of things that were beneficial on the community level. All of them are crooks, and it was set up with a psychological type of operation because there was no primary election. They started getting rid of all of these candidates. They had it in July instead of September. Like all of those were red flags because these were things that has never happened before. But they rigged it to where they want to create a civil war unrest. Like, well, you voted for this one and you voted for that one. Nobody's vote is really counting for real. And people have to really understand that this is a system that is demonically set up on some electoral vote, and look at the language, electoral, electron, all of that stuff means stuff. But this is a system that was set up for this hour to get the anti-hero back in, just like the little Rockefeller painting, so they can soul trap people. They have an end game. And work and being in like the medicine, seeing the neurophysicist side, seeing the all of the different sides from the different scientists and biotechnology, reading things for years, CRISPR, all of that, the stuff that is happening, they want to have all of this stuff in the air that can split somebody conscious, like put them in how you would get surgery, anesthesia, but give you a fake world while you're like in a walking coma. That's what they're doing.
We already there. What do you
Except
mean?
for the human spirit. Because when you ask questions, you fight against it. You're not quite there
Listen,
yet. They want it all the way there.
listen. If you did a test, if you did a test on things like the food we eat, good God, you know what you would find in it?
Yeah.
You literally would find more poison than nutrition. If you did a test on the water that's going to your spigot and your shower and everything around you, listen, everything around us is tainted. It is tainted. It is poisoned. It is bad fruit. Everything around us. Listen, y'all. My girl Harriet wanted to jump in here with us for a minute. I said, "Hey, Harriet, let's see what it do. Let's see what it do."
Give y'all a little bit of a disclaimer here. The reason why I'm not touching on the politics part is because my campaign manager told me to be very careful about what I say. So I'm not going to chime in because it can be twisted. So I'm staying away from that part.
They're going to come back and say, but you said.
Yeah. That's why I keep going back in the other direction.
There you go. All right. Well, look here. Hold up. Hey, Harriet.
I think I agree with a lot of the things that you have said. It's true. Narcissists do create generational curses. What it does is that they start, like, let's say they want something in their life and they consult a witch doctor or whatever, and once they get whatever they want, I think part of the contract is to pass it on to the next generation. So what they do is they have to also start their witchcraft within their own bloodline. The Bible says the man's enemy shall be in his own household. So you have to get somebody from your own bloodline and bewitch And then after you've done that successfully and gotten what you want, it continues from, let's say, it becomes like a pattern within the family. So in certain cultures or certain families, you find that um marriage, they all get divorced, or before they hit the age of 40 they die, or before they've got like some sort of congenital genetic disease. Sometimes this comes from a contract one person decided to make, and it has subsequently affected their generational bloodlines. And what happens is that certain family members, when a child is growing up, they look through their family bloodline and they decide, okay, that person is going to be the next, let's say, sacrifice. So as that child grows up, they kind of steer that child's life towards a certain, so they will have a certain outcome. So once they get that certain outcome, like let's say if their child is going to be rich in God's eyes, let's say they were destined to be rich in God's eyes, they will steer that child into poverty. So once that child gets into that poverty situation where maybe they are homeless or whatever, then the warlock who put that child down that trajectory then comes out of nowhere and says, you know what, you can always, get into witchcraft. But they won't present it as witchcraft. They will present it as, mysticism. There are other powers that you can consult to make your life better. So the moment you accept that, you have been initiated. And then you can also pass it on down the bloodline. And that's how it works. That's what happened in my family. That's how I know how this thing works. So with me, they steered me down a path. It's almost like I got to a point where I just had lack, because everything that I was doing was just going from bad to worse. And the person who was doing it literally approached me. This was last year, September. Literally approached me and said to me, look, there are other ways that you can get your life back on track. And I was like, what? It's like, well, there are things that you can do. And I think she was alluding to witchcraft, but she didn't want to say witchcraft. She just said there are things that you can do to get things back on track. It's not always about praying and getting to the Bible and God and things. So the moment I knew that was what she was asking, I said to her, there is no way I am going to go down the path of witchcraft just so that I can get my life on track. No way, no matter. And I literally said this last September, no matter how badly things get for me, I would never in my life go down the wrong path. And then she kept quiet. A couple of days later, this same family member traveled all the way, because she has not seen me in 5 years, traveled all the way to my house, brought me food, because at this point, I kind of knew what she was doing, brought me food out of, the kindness of her own heart to be nice. But in that moment, I knew that she was trying to, again, initiate me through food. So these things are very real, and these people know what they are doing.
Yeah, they do.
And what I think God has also revealed to me is that, we are interdimensional beings. We are body, soul, and spirit. We exist in the physical realm, but whether we like it or not, we have a body in the spiritual realm. And if you don't protect that body with the word of God in the spiritual realm, they will destroy you. Because I think what happens with, let's say, people who go down the witchcraft paths, they know a lot about, let's say, the spiritual realm and how it works, legal rights and all of those things. These are things that a lot of churches don't teach us. So if a witch goes to church, the best place for a witch to even is to go to church to pick victims. It's very, very easy, because we are not taught that. And it means that they can access your soul. Once they feed you in the daytime, they can call onto your soul at night while you are, because the Bible says, while men slept, the enemy came to sow tares. So while you sleep, that's when they call your soul to come in agreement with certain things that in the daytime you normally wouldn't. But what they do is they groom you in the daytime, and then at nighttime, while you are busy sleeping in dreamland, they are calling onto your soul and giving you instructions onto how you can destroy your own life, or how you can initiate.
You know something though? You know something? I'm gonna say this, man, because I hear a lot of that, and a lot of people really believe that, you know, witchcraft and these people can put a hex on you and, you know, do stuff. I just want to say to everybody, if the devil had power over you on any level, you hear me? If the devil had any power over you, had any ability to be able to just go in a room and put some water in, some hair in, some whatever they can find in a pot and start boiling it and say something over that pot and get you to start acting funny or whatever, everybody on this planet, everybody in this universe would be a victim of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
we get mercy. Like that's the thing. Like
no. See, what we not gonna do is pretend that God ain't in charge.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He merciful.
What we not gonna ever do is pretend that God ain't in charge. Because see, if God ain't in charge, then we all just wasting our time. Every last one of us just wasting our time. If we got to figure out how to evade this devil, now this devil is the most crafty. That's this devil's nature, is to trick you. That's what that's this entire purpose in his life, is to trip you up and to keep you from your destiny. And if we should decide that, wow, I never thought of this way, or I never tried something else that way, or I'm going to listen to, you know, what my coworker said, and, you know, I'm gonna just be a victim, or I'm gonna just let this happen to me, and I'm gonna go do what they did to undo the spell that they put on me. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling y'all, man, people believe all over the planet. Be believing somebody really put a serious hex on you. Like, don't nobody have that authority over your life. Nobody. And I'm saying that the reason that we call on God, ladies and gentlemen, is because it's time to grow up. It's because we lazy. Mm-hmm. We call on God because we lazy. We call on God because we are scared to grow up. If you have been taught that you are a child of God, then that means you're an extension of God. That means that you got the same power that God has. That means that God is sitting there looking at you like, man, you 12 years old, you 20 years old, and you can't even walk yet? How? You expect your children, when you have a child, you expect your child to be walking within 1 year. You expect them to be talking inside of 2. And we in our 40s and 50s and older. And we still, God, please, man, please. And we got the same power, but we don't believe it. And that, my friends, that right there, that is the reason that we remain in the conditions we remain in, because we have the power and we will not use it.
Yes.
That's because as a child, your power is taken away. And I was groomed for what I eventually got into these relationships. And that's how the devil is. If you look at the Bible, the devil has been after Jesus since the announcement of him. But if what you notice is there's no history of him growing up, because I believe that because of, you know, the demons and stuff, that he could have easily been taken over, but that part of his life is hidden. And it tells me that he was hidden from this because he was subjective. He was human just like us. So he was subjected to the same stuff that we are subjected to.
Absolutely.
So if you look at it, he came back on the scene when it was his time for his assignment. So I do believe that in witchcraft that the devil can possess people to harm people. The Bible says a weapon formed shall not prosper. And that's why a lot of this don't go through, because God is not going to allow. He said it'll be formed, but he said it will not prosper. And that's why a lot of stuff don't happen. People do put spells on you, because I've had dreams about witches and stuff that I never had in my entire life until I started going through this. So I do believe in that stuff.
No. I'm not telling you to not believe that this stuff is going on, but it's going on to make you believe that they have some kind of power over you. But they do not. That demonic, that demon, that devil does not have power over anyone.
No, he just tricked us into giving it to him. That's the thing.
And there you have it right there. He got to trick you.
Yeah, also talking of grooming, I think growing up, we are also groomed to think that witchcraft is not real. Because growing up, I used to watch Disney movies and I didn't think it was real. I mean, I didn't think Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty were actually the story of a narcissist, affecting their own families. It's actually based on that when you really think about it.
It absolutely is. It's based on cartoons. And when you're a child, that's why it's so important when a child is young, 1 year old, younger, it is most important that you don't feed them those kind of things, because that's that make-believe that you carry throughout your whole life.
Yes.
That these cartoons, you can have power, and even though it's a cartoon, but in your mind, it's all about playing a trick on your mind. And this devil has mastered that from the time you start growing up all the way through. He's there to assist you. And see, we're just catching up to where he had us in our lifetime. We're not even thinking about where this fool got the next generation at already.
Yeah.
It's going to take that generation how many years to figure this out, and what spell has been put over them that they believe, because that's what all of this is about.
Like the spell, like when people grow up with family who have like occult ties or who do rituals, like everybody probably haven't had the experience of coming out of their body. That probably haven't happened to most people, but that has happened. I know in my own life that has happened in my family and my family members and myself. So as a child, I was groomed to come out of my body and do things and go on missions. So I know about the marine kingdom. I know about the celestial kingdom, but I know the power of God in it as well, because he is merciful. He is gracious. People choose sin. They choose Satan. They choose to give away their body. They say the wages of sin is death, but you can choose life and he'll still have his hand on you, even though you're a child. So my sister would wake up and have the scratches and the marks and all of the different bruises and things from the entities like doing things to her at night, but I wouldn't get the marks, but he would still protect me. But I knew about it because my family was kind of what you would consider split. They had some occult ties they were doing, and they had church ties, deliverance, dealing with demons. Like I knew about every name of the demons more than I knew about the fruits of the spirit. But it was like a training to where you're going to be pretty much like a religious Jezebel. Like you're going to know about the spiritual warfare. You're going to teach people more about this stuff, but it's no love. It wasn't directed and rooted in love. And that's, some people go through that and they have these experiences and they don't have answers. They don't know how their soul is fragmented. They don't know that
right there. That part right there. That's the part I want y'all to focus on tonight. Confusion. You ever notice when somebody teaching you about witchcraft throughout your life, it was never anything that was made clear to you.
Yes.
It was never made clear to you. It was always, I'm gonna just put this and stew this together, and they put this cauldron bubble, and then they whisper these 3 words over this pot of. It was something that was it was never made clear to you because it was all about confusing you and it to get you to pretend and make believe because they know. See, the power of the mind. Guys, that's what narcissism is all about. Somebody taking your mind and bending your reality, twisting your reality. That's what narcissism is all about. And if they can make you, trick you, and that's what makes witchcraft real. Because if you believe it, if you believe that somebody put a hex on you and you're going to lose vision in your left eye, you going tomorrow you wake up and you start be like, whoa, my left eye was, and then I'm not going to be able to breathe out my right nostril. And then you start feeling like you're breathing funny. Because if this joker can trick you, and you got to remember this. This is the reason why we don't talk to a narcissist. It ain't just because we hate them so much or because, I don't talk to them because, I got to stay no contact. I don't know why I got to stay no contact, but I just can't talk to them because, I'm scared of them. No, we're not talking to them because anything you get from them is going to be a lie. We don't talk to them because we understand who they are. This is a professional liar. This fool can sell water to a well. It can sell fire in hell. Okay.
Yes.
This person is an expert at tricking you into believing something that's not real. And that's all a narcissist needs. Every narcissist you ever dealt with, they were trying to trick you into the exact same thing. Believe in something that's not true.
And they don't even know the reason why they tricking you into it. They just do it for the hell of it because that's what they do. They want to cause confusion and get a thrill, a sadistic kick out of watching you being confused by the things that they saying. They know that they're wrong, but they're not going to let you know you right. They're going to confuse the hell out of your story. Where you're going to end up when they put you in a situation where either choice they give you is wrong, and they going whichever one they're going to confuse you on that one. It's never to create a solution. It's always to create chaos and confusion to keep your mind confused. That's all it is.
And you know what? And that's every argument with them. The reason that we argue and the arguments get so intense is because you stand on a principle that is right. You know that the narcissist knows that the principle you stand on, they know you're right. Both of you know in that argument that you are right. It's the devil's job to convince you that the truth isn't the truth. If the devil can trick you into thinking, and I'm telling everybody in here, y'all listening and y'all going back and forth with these people, listen, the goal is, they already know you're telling the truth. They know it, but they also know that if you're sitting here arguing with me, and we both know you right, then you're not sure that you're right. Because if when you know you're right about something, you're going to say it and then you're going to leave it alone. Nah, they heard me. I know they heard what I said, and I'm going to leave it alone. Because now now you're trying to prove you right. You're not just standing on what's right. Now they got you trying to prove, because now you're talking to it and you're trying to talk to it from different angles. Well, let me say it this way so that maybe they'll understand it. They understood it the first time you said it, but their job is to make sure you don't believe that. If they can just make you think, wow, is your name really Joanne? Is my name really Joanne? Like, am I tripping? Got you look. If they can make you look at your ID, I know I ain't tripping. Then they got you. And because they know that if I can manipulate your mind, listen, if the devil can ever trick you and manipulate your mind, then he got you. That's what this is all about, y'all.
And that's why they can argue you back and forth, even with evidence sitting right there, because their job is not to get you to believe the truth, is to get you to believe the lie is the truth and the truth is the lie.
There you
And
go.
that's all they want from you. You can have
Yes.
solid proof and they gonna argue you up and down. And then when
I
you tell
saw
them the
you
truth,
on video. I saw you doing it on video. What are you talking about?
Yes.
No, I
And
didn't.
that's why when you arguing and you tell them the truth, they get angry because you pressing that truth and you have them cornered.
There
And
you
so
go.
then they
There
put
you
you in
go.
a situation where they give you a choice to say you're lying, because they're going to always say you're lying and you're going to always have your truth. And they get so angry at your truth that you're going to take the lie and go with it. And they're still going to argue with you and be mad at you because now you picked the lie and saying that you are the cheater that they're saying you are, when you're arguing on this side saying you're not. It's not for a solution. It's all for confusion. That's all it is.
And I think when the deeper they go into, like, let's say, this contract, or the longer they stay on this occultic contract, they are also rising up in the ranks in the spiritual realm. So some of them, the higher up they go, like the more demonic entities they get to work with. So if, like, let's say they are level 1, they may just be required to lie to their family members, whatever the truth is. Level 2, they are required to perhaps maybe fornicate and cheat on their spouses. Level 3, it's perhaps maybe get them to kill some of their family members. This is all harnessing energy for the demonic entities. And the higher up you go, the higher up your ranking, the more things you have to do, the more hurt and pain you have to cause in order to rise up, in order to, let's say, get this energy or frequencies that the demonic entity needs. But what a narcissist doesn't realize, that the higher up they go in the demonic realm, the less of the fruits of the spirits, of the Holy Spirit that they have. They don't have peace. They don't have joy. They don't have patience.
That's right.
They don't have
And
kindness.
you know what else?
These
Guess
are
what?
all.
If you stay around them too long, you're not gonna stay around. You ain't gonna stay in the church. Your belief is going to fade. Y'all know how many people start out with these jokers, and you're locked into either your church or you're on a certain level when it comes to your faith. When the longer you stay with a narcissist, you're gonna pull back further and further.
You the narcissist sacrifice. Their kingdom requires a sacrifice. And when Harriet is saying true, like with the levels, the more these narcs, if you don't get over the things that you have to get over in yourself, do your healing, separate from that family, destroy those curses, get with God, strengthen your faith, love and nurture yourself. If you don't heal those trauma altars, those soul fragments, if there was abuse involved that did that, then you would get a stronger and higher ranking demonic narcissist. Because Satan, I hate to even use the word narcissist, it's just the whole devil, but you would get a higher ranking one until you might even get a shapeshifter, but you will get one like the last one have a whole contract with the devil, meaning they can summon different powers, but they also can astral project. So when you out of the situation, if they're still coming to you, or they call it psychic energy or whatever, you have to know those warfare prayers, like, no, get out in Jesus' name, or I'll bind you, you got to go, bind your power, you got to go in Jesus' name. They don't have authority, but they go based on the ignorance or the lack of knowledge to try to torment and destroy. You got to get away from me. You got to take captive of those thoughts. Now I bring my imaginations under the subjection of me, like I can rule my own spirit. I don't need you to come in here and invade me. And then you use those scriptures, like bring them to the obedience of the word. But there are warfare scriptures when they dealing with a real warrior, but they hate truth. If they can ensnare you, that's a witchcraft web trap to get you to argue so they can cipher your energy. That's a trap. And so if you
and I want y'all to understand something too. I have had throughout my life, I have had those dreams that somebody, where I was paralyzed and some evil entity was over me. I've had those dreams all my life. Now, the last one I had, man, the devil came and jumped in my bed with me and I choked him out. I completely choked this joker out. The moral of the story for me was, he can only do something to you when you scared.
Yeah.
He can only do something to you when you scared. And it's a reason. It's a reason they only attack you in the dark. It's a reason they only attack it because and they want you to be scared. You taught your whole life to be afraid in the dark, and you came from darkness. It was the most secure place in your life. You came from total darkness, triple stage darkness. And then we're taught to fear that same darkness. And that's for a reason.
And that's the thing. He can only, through fear, he can't do nothing to you, but out of fear, he can cause you to harm yourself or others to harm you. He can't do it personally, and that's why he go through other people, and they try to manipulate our minds to either get us to harm ourselves. These people know exactly what they're doing because they hate us to the point that they want to see us gone, but they know not to do it because they know the consequences. So they try to get us to do it to ourselves. So never let anyone tell you that these people do not know what they're doing. They know the limits that they will, they know their limits, because if they had it their way, they're off all of us.
Every last one of us.
And I want to say this too, that this devil really, really sees my light and that he cannot get me through people. Everybody that I encounter, those black eyes are immediate. And that devil looks at me with a hunger in these people's eyes because he really wants my soul. And I'm not going to give it to him. He's not had no more with me. So I'm not really dealing with people no more because he know I ain't going. And I see it in the daylight, at nighttime. I see it all the time. I see them black eyes, and he looks at me, and he's not trying to hide.
And that's the goal. The goal is, see, the thing is the devil knows he's a coward. And he also knows it's just a matter of time before you see me. And the only way he can maintain respect is being hidden. That's it. Once you see the man behind the curtain, just like in the Wizard of Oz, once you see the man behind the curtain and you see who it is with all this keeping all this madness going, he knows instantly right there. Oh man, they going on to the yellow brick road now. They laughing now because he don't have to give the 10 man the brain, you know, the cowardly lion of heart and all that. They just believe that he had to give it to him. And that's us. That's us. We believe somebody gotta give me this, what I don't have, when it's already there. You just don't acknowledge it. And that's all of us. That's all of us. We all play a role in when, you know, and we grew up, we saw these scary movies, and you know, you see these extraterrestrials and you start believing, whoa.
I got
and
choked
then
back.
you had to go somewhere where it's dark after that.
I literally got choked by an entity before. I'm telling you, that stuff is real on some other stuff.
It is.
I literally got choked by an entity. Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. You could probably take Keisha in a dark room and she lose her.
Not no more. They're not coming no more.
She just goes crazy in it. Ain't nothing, listen, ain't nothing in that room but you and the energy that you bring in the room. That's what this devil knows about us, y'all. He knows that our power is endless. He knows who our Father is. He knows our potential, but at the same time, he knows we're very easily deceived. We're very easily tricked.
I had to call on Jesus. That actually make it go away because it's usually a spirit spouse. So before getting delivered of the spirit spouses, once like initially coming out of narcissistic stuff, like they are very possessive. And so they were really like doing things like the choking happened, the sleep paralysis was happening. I was waking up with bruises on my knees, like as an adult, like waking up with different kind of marks. They was putting on different sicknesses, causing stuff for a season because I had to keep battling and getting out of that. And that's a process people will go through once if they coming out of occult stuff and out of this narcissistic relationship stuff. But it had just like took my baby, like I had lost a baby, and they had all of these things were happening, after this stuff when I was coming upon how did I get here, and it was because of the different occult ritual things that was happening, and then getting delivered and healed from those kingdoms, getting my soul fragments back, all of that stuff. It just went through a lot of healing, but it took renewing my mind, constantly speaking truth, constantly going after God, constantly having him there. Now I know exactly who I am, and I dare them try to come, but now I know who I am and can cancel out that stuff. But a lot of people might have went through that and may not know that they went through that, or may not know why things are happening. But even if you don't know anything else, and like Elon Musk nanny said, she went through a Stargate portal with him. She said the name of Jesus, boom, that stops it instantly.
Also, one thing I've noticed about narcissists is that they tend to mock you with regards to the very thing they are siphoning off of you. So, like, let's say they are siphoning off of you from your finances, they will mock you about poverty. If they are siphoning, let's say, your relationships, they will mock you about not having friends or not having a significant other. So they'll mock you. If you listen carefully, they expose themselves. They tell you exactly what's happening, but in a underhanded way.
Good God. How many people in the chat can bear witness to that?
Me, that is
the exact thing, and that's how the devil comes. The exact thing that the devil wants, that's exactly the thing that they're going to attack about you.
Yes.
Yep.
Good
God. Back. Yep. That just made a whole lot of sense. Because they attack your parenting. If you're a good parent, and they gonna try to break that relationship up. That relationship. Whoops, bloopers. They gonna try to break it up.
Oh my goodness! Y'all hear Keisha's mouth? Y'all hear Keisha potty mouth?
Oh my God! I don't even know how that happened. Wow.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man. This has been one. I don't know what it is, man. Every week, man, y'all get closer and closer. This breakthrough, and I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, man. We know we on Beyonce's internet, and when you're not talking in the direction that this devil wants you to talk in, that's what he's trying to attract. He want us on here tripped out about the cause and effect, the effect of what's wrong, not the cause. He want us on Beyonce's internet talking about the effects of, oh man, it's gonna be all of this, paralysis out here. It's gonna be all of this dark homelessness and loneliness, and it's gonna be, everybody gonna be attacking each other. This devil want us to believe the worst. Because this day is up. This day is done. The world has come to an end. Guys, the only thing holding this up, the only thing holding it together is our belief in it. That's it. Our belief in it. That's the only thing holding this crazy mess together, because they don't even know. Trump sitting in there, he don't know. He came right. Listen, he came right through the door. He came right through and I'm gonna be real with it. I thought Trump would have been good for the country. I thought, like, man, we need something different, because every year We done went from 1 trillion in debt to 40 trillion, and don't nobody know how to manage nothing. And any realist knows that, bro, you can't just be, you got to create a number because your debt is so high. You got to create another number. So that right there just said to me, you know, we can't go but so far. Just every year you in the hole and all this other craziness. And I'm listening to him, and you know, and now they're trying to say like, okay, well, yeah, everything he said is happening, but it's not true. No. Because he said certain things were gonna happen. He said, hey man, we're gonna get that inflation right down. No, you're not. No, you're not. And you can't get it down because guess what? Because the money, that paper that is written on, it don't have the value that it had 3 years ago, 5 years ago. It doesn't. And you got to go out here, guys, man, I'm going to tell y'all, it's this is the world we live in. The world we live in is you got to go somewhere else. He got to go somewhere else. And y'all, some of y'all love Barack. I get it. And the same thing Barack had to do in order to keep the dollar doing something. Y'all remember what he had to do to what's his name? What's that dude? What's the
Vladimir Putin?
No. He had to take somebody out.
Osama
bin Laden.
No. Who?
It was a lot of them. Hussein,
no. It was another one. What was his name? Come on, man. Come on.
Saddam Hussein
had to take this one out. Who?
Saddam Hussein.
No, not Saddam. Even though they did. I thought that was George.
That was the ones with the Taliban and all that when he was there.
Yeah. No. Barack.
Oh, but he was saying ISIS. He kept saying ISIS. Man, ISIS isn't not them. This all go back to the Babylonian system because they brought over the little ISIS altar thing.
But Saddam was I thought that was George Bush.
That was Bush, but Bin Laden was him, and ISIS was Ishtar.
No. But Barack had one that was I think he was an African. He wasn't African. He was an Indian guy. He was Arabic.
Saddam Hussein.
No, it wasn't Saddam. Somebody in the chat know who it was. Who Barack had this dude taken out. Oh my God! I got.
Somebody said Gaddafi.
Muammar Gaddafi. That's it. Muammar Gaddafi. Barack had to take out Gaddafi. Now you know how much money Gaddafi had. So again, America. Y'all remember the movie American Gangster? Mm-hmm. With Denzel, and Denzel had to go to his buddy's house. Say, hey man, I gotta pinch you, man. You know these dudes gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take some of this money from you. You know, he's like, hey man, I know, you know, but you ain't gotta worry about nothing, and you ain't gotta. And that's how this country works, y'all. In order for this budget, listen, they selling us Apple. Listen, let me tell you like this. Let me start saying it like this. They in your backyard and they control the apple tree. And you got to buy the apple that's in your backyard from them. Okay? They selling us stuff that's free. So in order to keep this system going, in order to hit the replay button, every president, y'all ever noticed America always stayed at war? We always in somebody's country taking something. We're not the only country that does it. Other countries do it, but that's what keeps this country afloat. We people, when we watch Training Day, we were watching what our country actually does, and they doing it again right now. That's all Trump and them doing. They patting pockets. Who got some money? It's Debo.
Nobody noticing the little boy. Okay, that's a very important thing to notice. Elon Musk's little son in the interview.
I noticed his little son in there.
Like, stop it. you stop talking. Like that was a whole thing there. The interaction.
You know what, though? You know what? I seen that. I kind of thought like, yeah, to me that was kind of like he hanging with his dad. You know, he chilling. You know, it's a father thing. That's how we think.
Remember that movie?
I remember that movie, The Omen. Yeah, I remember that. that little dude. But you know, I mean, at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, we're in a place and a time where everything is changing, and we saw that a couple years ago when everybody was in the house. Everything now, guys, this world has ended. The world has ended. We just don't believe it. That's all. We just don't believe it. It's happening right before our eyes. We can see it, and we're not thinking outside of this world right now. We're thinking of how we can stay inside. See, we help in the system because we're fighting to keep it going. Because, you know, it's the world, it's life. Hey, you know, I done did this in life and I want to keep this together. I want this to, and that's how pretty much how all of us feel. Yeah, I'm the same way. They ain't no better. I'm the same way.
An apocalypse with the narcissist. This is not the time.
And you know what? And that's what I'm saying too. That's what I'm saying too. That at some point you got to come out of it.
You got to come out.
It's the same as the relationship with this devil. At some point, you have to come out, because if you don't, then you will spend you will have wasted your entire life.
Yeah.
Just in a cesspool of total debauchery madness.
Sell you out. Okay. So
Dancing Lobster is back again.
Like, here they go for a piece of bread. Where the bread at? There they go.
And it's good. It's also good that we have channels like this, because it's good to spread the word about narcissism. The general public still don't really understand what's going on in terms of the warfare that's going on. So it's important that we educate people, so then they don't become victims. Because narcissists, they don't just want victims, they want to recruit people as well. So it's likely that there are people who are going to become narcissists by recruiting, by recruitment. So it's important that we spread the word, because knowledge is power.
I'm gonna tell you, if you go on TikTok, boy, they got they got a whole lot of channels on there that they are absolutely recruiting devils. They are trying to trick people into believing God don't exist.
Yeah.
God don't exist. And they're doing it on weak principle. They're not standing on nothing truthful. They're not standing on it. They're standing on the fact that hoping you don't stand on anything. You're not solidly built into what you believe. That's their entire stance.
I want to add to something she said when she said they recruit people, and they absolutely do, and that be their family members, because they need them to help break you down. That's why they don't defend you to other people, because if other people have negative things to say, that helps them break you down and break down your self-esteem to make you subservient to them. That's why they allow their children to be disrespectful, or their moms to compete with their wives, or moms don't like the husbands and stuff like that, or moms sleep with the husband, is to break you down. They definitely want to recruit people. And that's why if you guys ever in a situation where a child of your significant other is disrespectful, that you need to leave that situation, because 9 times out of 10, that person was over there talking about you.
There you go.
And that's how that person knew that they could say those things to you, because they heard it from the other person.
There you go.
And they were over there having a conversation.
They groomed them to be disrespectful towards you. And they make it a joke. They do it in a way where they make it a joke while you're not around. But the reality is they teaching that child to not respect you and to not like you. Oh man, this whole game is dirty, y'all. And you lose everything. The goal is for you to lose everything.
Everything. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yes.
why when you first meet them, it's always somebody in their family that they say, "Oh, my daughter loves me. She protects me. Oh, my son, that's the one you got to watch out for because that's the one they're going to let disrespect you. That's the one
Ooh.
recruited to help break you down. They're going to always point out the one that don't like you because
Mm.
they groom these people to dislike you because in the end, they going to need them and they help them throughout the
Yep.
relationship to break you down. They always, oh, my daughter is so protective. I've been through so many bad relationships that she's just so protective over her dad. And, be careful.
Emotional incest. That's what they do with their
Wow.
children.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. They will sit there if you with a guy and they got a daughter, they gonna try to they would treat the daughter after that love bond. They'll treat the daughter the way they should be treating you, and that's emotional. That's emotional incest, and it should not. It's actually a form of abuse for the daughter, but they groomed in that. Like this whole thing is just demonic and evil, and they'll have a family member that is into straight Wicca or something like, oh, they just like this, and they at the end of the day they want you to fight that one. They want you to fight the one that don't have anything to lose, that's always saying dumb stuff to you every time you
Yeah.
come around, and they actually enjoy
Mm-hmm.
it because they know if you can get into a fight with them, they're going to call the police, but they want you to lose everything. If
Everything.
you're a
Yes.
reputable person, they'll probably try to film
Ooh.
and be like, look, and blast it all on the internet. Look what
Yep.
happened. They want to completely
Man, they
destroy
want to
everything that you
embarrass you. They want
It's
to embarrass you, make you look like a
humiliation
fool.
ritual.
They want you so you cannot face your neighbors. They want
Yep.
you to
yes.
feel like you got to hide your face when you walk out your house every
Yes.
single day. They want you to
Yes.
feel nothing but shame and guilt.
Yep.
Yes. It happened in my family in the sense that one of my uncles, he's 75 years old now. He's quite elderly. What happened was that he didn't know he was the scapegoat person. So, in terms of our family structure, what was happening was that he was really intelligent. I think he has two PhDs. He was supposed to have excelled really, really high. But what happened was that, from a spiritual perspective, one of the head witch of her family was siphoning from him. But what she was doing was that she was giving him, quote unquote, help. So with this help, every time she tries to help him, it was actually siphoning from him slowly. And now my uncle has ended up with absolutely nothing. Lives in a one bedroom. His wife has left him, was not able to have children. And now he uses his life as a cautionary tale to the young ones that we need to be careful about witchcraft, because he believes, oh, he says that his life has ended the way it has because of witchcraft. And the head witch also sits, and he doesn't talk to the head witch of our family because he knows that it was her that has caused it.
Mm.
And now he's even got cancer. I think he's having treatment, but his
Yep.
life has really gone downhill. And he's so angry at times, very, very angry. And what God revealed to me is that when you stay around a narcissist for a long time, they siphon all your goodness
There you
and they
go.
replace it with anger,
There you
bitterness,
go.
um, everything that
Absolutely.
you were not, they will just replace it with that. So every time
That's
my
right.
uncle opens his mouth, he's just cursing, he's just angry. But you can understand it because he recognizes at the age of 75 that he's been robbed by his own siblings from a spiritual perspective.
Mm.
And when I look at my life, I was going down, when I hit mid 30s, I saw that I was going down that route. I was the next one in line, you see. And when he used that to advise me, made certain changes. And once I started making certain changes, I realized that things were beginning to fall into place. So
Mm.
we need to be vigilant. We need to get knowledge. We need to be aware of what's within
That's
our
right.
own bloodlines.
That's
Because
right.
some people in our bloodlines do not have our best interests at heart. It may
Whoo,
seem, but they don't.
And
man.
that's the trick right there. Like it's not even the one that we came with or the devil sent as far as a love partner. Like they do their spells and stuff, but The one that's in the bloodline, that's a generation up, because they know how these things work as far as the laws and the spirit. They know that the generation above trickles down to the generation under them. So they
Yes.
speak curses over their life. They speak all of these
Yes.
things over their life, and you won't
Yes.
even know it because they
Yes.
grown you to depend on them, but yet they're the main ones orchestrating the curses for the destruction. And you
Yes.
think like, okay, I'm battling this, or I'm getting rid of this person or that person, going through the divorce and calamity. I'm gonna go see my grandma. I'm gonna go see this, and they always help. And they the main ones setting you up to be in agreement. Like my grandmother used to always say, we got to do this agreement. We got to pray this agreement, to be in an agreement to curse your own life. And until
Yes.
you realize, like, well, wait a minute, I don't think I want to do that no more. And you see the flip,
There you
until
go.
you realize that you stay in it because you deceived.
That's
You
what
don't
it's all
know.
about.
They
That's
own
what
they
it's all
give,
about.
give your power away because you don't know. You're trained to not know until
That's
you
what
do
it's all
know.
about.
And
Yep.
I was following down that path, and I snapped out
Mm-hmm.
of it because I would have ended up in prison with the stuff that, my family was doing. And that's your environment. You think it's the right thing to do. You see your family do it, and you fold. But God brought me out of that situation, and I'm
Yeah.
Mhm.
glad because I see the lives that, my family continue to live. And the deception and the fraud and all of that is endless. These people do this to the end of their lives. And
There you go.
how you live is how you go. And
Man,
how a
say that.
person go is going
Say
to
that
tell
for the
you
people in the back.
everything.
And end of their lives, there was this lady. I work in healthcare, and there was this lady who is approaching end of life. She's palliative. She's not imminently dying. And I was speaking to her son about, what we need to put in place before she, passes. And the son was saying that, look, put whatever you want to put into place. This is the worst mother I could have ever gotten. And the man said he got married at 18 years old because he just wanted to get out of the house. And I asked him what happened. He said the emotional abuse that he endured. And he believed that his mother, although on
Wow.
the system, it doesn't say the woman had a personality disorder, but the guy said, I believe my mother had a personality disorder and she abused me, and the emotional scars. The guy said, at the age of 65, I still have emotional scars from what my mother did to me.
Mm.
And I asked him, where about your other siblings? He said, my other siblings are all the way in Australia. They don't want anything to do with her. So he's the only one in the United Kingdom trying to see if everything is put into place and for his mother to go. But having also said that, that woman, to be honest with you, she is suffering. You actually end up feeling sorry for them, because somebody who is in a lot of pain, the first thing we think about is giving painkillers. However, she's very allergic to some of the painkillers. So with painkillers, we have to be careful in
Mhm.
what we give her and what we don't.
You
So
know
we
what? I'm sorry.
Well,
decided to just give
she'll
it her
figure it out.
I don't have that much empathy that I feel sorry for somebody that honestly did what they did to me. I don't
it's
care.
almost
I'm
like
not.
all her pain receptors it's almost like all her pain receptors has been also switched off, so she does not respond to
Wow.
painkillers
Like she
in
don't
a
even
way.
respond.
You or I will take
That's
paracetamol
that's
or
when you
Yeah.
know that's when you
yes,
know it's too late for you. When your body
yes,
not even responding to the painkillers no
yes,
more.
yes, yes,
You just
yes,
soaked
yes.
up and
So
done.
you and I will take paracetamol and we'll feel better. You and I will take, let's say, ibuprofen or morphine or fentanyl, and you feel better. But in her case, it doesn't work like that.
Mm-mm.
So
Oh well.
we just have to improvise, you know. And we were informing him that if the worst comes to the worst, should we try morphine, even though we know it's not going to work. It's better than not, giving it to her.
Hey,
But
ain't
she's in a
nothing
lot
you
of
can do.
pain.
You've done what you can
And
do.
that's what they say in there. The Jezebel, he said he gave her time to repent. She will not repent. Like when people
He ain't
try to
doing it.
figure out, am I a narcissist, or is this person narcissist, or however, the difference is if you tolerate Jezebel, that's what most of us were part of. God had his hand on us. We were just in a situation that he had to get us out of, but we tolerated it. It said, you will have great tribulation. But the Jezebel, the one that's possessed with that spirit, that they don't repent. Part of the witchcraft manipulation is to the end. They do not repent. He said he gave her time to repent and she did not.
She can't.
We're not supposed to tolerate them. He was talking to the church because you tolerated her. That's what caused great tribulation. But he said that the Jezebel itself, she don't repent, and then the children, that's it. And that's because Jezebel sacrificed her children to the Baal system. They were sacrifices. So that still carries on, and children are the sacrifice. And it's horrible. And I pray for any man who have a Jezebel as a mom of their children, because that is like very detrimental if they end up in that household.
It happens every single day.
Yeah.
Because when the children are
but it's a lot to that. Like, men are still an order to this. If you're a father and you don't have your child and they have a Jezebelic mother, you go to that throne. That should be your fight every day, is to that throne.
That's the devil's plan, to keep that thing crazy. And that's how you keep it crazy. When he was able to break up the family, all bets are off, because you're not going to get to, we live in a place where a system is in place, and in that system, you're not going to be able to save that child like that.
Like, soon as the Jezebel seduce, that's why they go for the man, and it happens both ways. So
but you ain't gonna see it at the beginning
a lot as far as in a teaching, but this one, I address like what women go through, but men go through it too. Like, I don't want to discount what they go through, because it's horrible.
You can't.
You stay with a witch, and you can't. That's not gonna work.
I can tell y'all what we go through. I can tell you I can give you details of what we go through, and you got to sit there and deal with it, and you got to pay for it. Oh man, it's cold. Oh, it's cold what we got to go through, because when you fighting to be in that child's life, you fighting for somebody who they going to fight tooth and nail to make sure you don't have into that child's life. And when you finally get to that place, when the child is older, when the child is much older, and y'all can spend time together, you've been fighting your whole life to just have a normal relationship with that child, and that child done been ran through by that other parent so much and so bad that it's not even possible at that point. You just out there fighting and running, and you don't know what to do. You literally are just lost. And that's the plan. The plan is, hey, if you went over there and you mate with this Jezebel, whoo, I got you, because I know that family ain't staying together, buddy. Ain't no way. And your children, they gonna be the same way.
And that person gonna treat your child terrible.
They gonna dog your child
in the courtroom crying because his daughter, the mom was abusive to the daughter, and so was her boyfriend, who ended up unaliving the daughter. But he was in the courtroom, broke down, like no system would listen when he said that the child was not safe, all of this stuff. But I see it even in practice. I see the cuss that happens when a person is with, like, the Jezebel, they had a boyfriend come, all kind of terrible things happen. And there's nothing that can be done, but the setup was at hello. As soon as they spoke, and there was a response. There you go. That was all set in place for destruction.
There you go. Right from the beginning. Let me get these super chats out the way, y'all. My man, hold up. Who was that? Dancing Lobster said, like a demon, narcs want the access, the assets, privileges, and comfort that come from your empathy, the quality of your spirit, because they've lost touch with theirs. Pray for discernment and fear not, ladies and gentlemen. Pray for discernment and fear not. It was that Kirstone. Thanks so much for that super chat, Kirstone. Look at Monique. Hey, Monique.
Fear not. Have faith. You see the black eyes? Believe it.
That's right. Monique said, my mother was a scapegoat. My brother is Wow, my brother's an ordained minister. We got into an altercation with one of my aunts. She turned the whole family against, man, Joe. Well, I tell you, I hate to see families go through stuff like that because, man, one person in the family, boy, it had a whole family upside down, inside out.
Yeah.
Like Haruna.
She didn't turn, let me say this. She didn't turn the family against them. They were already against you. She just got them to join in. That's all that was.
Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
cold. That's cold. That's man. That's painful too. When you see your family, your whole family, like really,
Talk about you from
that's
birth.
painful right there. Because that's the one place that you trust that you never think would betray you. And when you see that betrayal, boy, don't nothing sting like family members betraying you.
Because narcs always got to recruit people to help them. They cowards. They can't fight alone and they still can't win in a group.
Can't do it. They always lose, y'all. Remember that part. They lose. We win. Latu Haruna. Mwah. Thanks for the super chat. Latu Haruna said drugs, alcohol, and evil would vanish pain receptors. Been doing it since the beginning.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. Another
And also,
intense
I feel as
session.
though if they have dementia, the dementia is worsened by personality disorder. If there's an underlying personality disorder and they get dementia on top of it, it makes it worse. So you have certain patients who dementia is they are very calm, they are very collect, they are very, they are doing their own thing. But then you have certain dementia patients who have dementia who would literally defecate and eat their own feces. So there's a huge, like, let's say, disparity in terms of how dementia presents in people with, let's say, an underlying cognitive issue, sometimes a personality disorder, and someone who didn't have. So that's also a very interesting thing to note. But yeah, we have all types of things going on when it comes to these people. But I think it also has to do with the fact that the demons that try to cause brain injury in us, in the end, go back to them. A lot of the
Yeah.
demons that they give out, like demons of hatred, bitterness, the demons of dissociation, go back to them. And because they are elderly and perhaps maybe cannot do the same tricks, and people are not around them as much as they used to, these demons then start destroying them.
DJ.
I think they get dementia because they gaslit themselves because they do believe their own lies. So I believe that they gaslit themselves to the point that their memory is just shot.
Yeah.
That's how the enemy does. Like he a deceiver. He a horrible pimp. The worst. The Chicago pimps is better than him. I mean, he is horrible. What he do, the
The
same
pimp.
demons that torment,
That's what we
that they
dealing with.
use for
Pimp.
power to torment others, is the same ones that's tormenting them in the end. That's their assignment. So if he used their mind to bewitch and torment and manipulate and do all this corruption, he taking that man belongs to him. And they
Yeah.
usually, if they use that body, they usually end up like crippled, or some stuff goes on with their body. Like look at the Celine Dion, she turned into stone. I had a great aunt that turned in the same disease. They turn into stone or something. Like their body it's stiff disease. They get so stiff they can't move. The same
Mm.
tool they used to use to seduce and trap people is the same thing that
Mm.
turned on them. And they
That's
was
gonna
Yeah.
be the
wicked.
one to
Like
leave you
my aunt
hanging.
was wicked.
It's
She
gonna
she
leave
slept
you
with all
hanging
my
in the
grandma's.
end.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey
it's like it's
y'all.
terrible.
Well, look here. We done pushed it into overdrive and overtime. What y'all gonna leave the good people with for the weekend? It's a holiday weekend too, so we got an extra day. So
Okay.
let's leave them with some encouragement. Let's leave them with
Well,
some encouragement. What can we encourage the people to do this week? Because it's a whole lot going on out here. Leave them with something.
I want to encourage people to not make a fool out of yourself. I mean, it's just, this is the season where they kind of get turned up and they got some little extra little potions and stuff probably out because of the little holiday that they seduce and do their tricks. But just don't ever make a fool of yourself. When it get to the point where that flag is raised, don't ignore it at all, because the enemy will take you beyond where you ever thought you would go. Like I ran out with nothing on before, and in front of a police station, like in an argument, coming out the shower with a narc, and they will take you all the way there. Okay, you would go all the way there.
You ran out the house with nothing on.
There was a reason for that. There was some things going on in the phone and stuff. It was a lot of things happening, but it was. I didn't know about
having the wildest stories.
It was just terrible times in life. So I understand from a real hand experience, when the first warning sign is there, that's when you need to leave. Please believe me. But it is, as many people come on here and they share their stories, it's really good to see that there is hope. So even though it might hurt now, even though there's been a lot of embarrassing moments that you want to completely forget, there's hope. Even if the children had, seen or witnessed some things, if you catch it early, there's hope for them. You can restore that relationship. You can start nurturing them. You can love on them. You can show them exactly what it means to be healthy and whole and not to deal with toxic people. Explain to them, personality disorders are demon disorders. They really demonic disorders that the person is in agreement with. But explain to them that not all people have the same kind of heart, and that you want to be around people like-minded that have good hearts, and how to recognize that so they don't fall into those generational curse patterns. And then you have to cut off those ties, even when they family, and that hurts the most. That's the hardest barrier to try to cut, but you have to cut them if you want to be healthy and you want to be whole again, because they're going to keep you trapped in that mindset. Everything is a mindset. It's the perception of what life should be versus what life can be. Like, we can be anything we ever wanted to be, but we limit ourselves based on these generational curse mindsets and patterns that are reinforced by family, by close friends, or wherever environment we're in. But there's hope. The only way to first start getting through the hope is to sever the ties with the narcissist. They're never going to be what you created them to be in your own imaginations, because it was your imaginations that made them that way. None of that was real.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The Bible says, guard your heart, and because out of it flows the springs of life. So it's important for us to guard our hearts, be vigilant at all times, because the adversary walks about seeking who they may devour. It's important to vet people when they come into our lives, whether for friendship, business relationship, romantic relationships, whatever the relationship is. It's important for us to really vet people, because when we go wrong, demonic entities have then got the legal right, or will find a legal access in order to feed, i.e., by bringing in bitterness, anger, whatever, to rob you of the fruit of the spirit. So it's important for us to guard our heart and be very, very vigilant, keep our knowledge topped up. It's important to also spread this type of word, because it's narcissistic abuse is in the Bible. It's all over the Bible. And it's important that we take this angle, people who have been through it, spread the word, and help people not go down that path. Because like I said before, when you find out about narcissistic abuse, the next thing they want to do is to recruit you, or at some point they will try and recruit you onto the other side. And it's possible that some of God's children have gone onto the other side, maybe because they are just fed up, or maybe because they didn't see anybody who is offering anything else. They thought, okay, people are narcissistic. The narcissists are becoming very, very, let's say, successful in whatever they do. So why don't I join in? So yeah, it's important for us to kind of keep people aware and also guard our own hearts while we're doing that.
Thanks. Thank you. HB got in here with us tonight and got it in, y'all. What you got for him, Joanne? What you got for the weekend, Joanne?
I want to say this. We dealt with people that couldn't even walk a mile in our shoes. So they went out and got a new pair. That's the new supply. We did also dealing with people who sold their soul for a moment of revenge. And now they have to live with that for the rest of their life because they are so far gone that the blood of Jesus cannot pay the ransom for their soul.
Yeah.
And they are stuck in that darkness for eternity. They are stuck in that darkness until Jesus comes. Y'all think that they got away with what they did to you. But these people are suffering deeply. And y'all don't, the revenge y'all want on them and the stuff that they go through, they can skate through that. Because it's always going to be somebody there to bail them out, whether it's the government, through assistance.
Come on.
They always have a backup plan a backup plan. So that revenge that y'all are looking for on them, don't even worry about that. But these people have to live their life soulless, not knowing what love would ever feel like, not knowing how to appreciate it. They can see it, but they can't appreciate it. They can see it when you give it to them, but they can't appreciate it because they feel they don't deserve it. And that's why they sabotage.
Good God. Oh, y'all heard that.
Yeah.
Y'all heard that. So
Thanks.
I just want everybody in here this evening to understand we have entered into the hereafter. Good God. We have entered into, man, yeah, listen, you're gonna see the tribulation. You're gonna see everything you've been waiting to see. Because all the lies that you and I have been told, we live in a day and age right now of truth. That's all you're gonna see from now on is exposure. It's gonna look like the world is falling apart. And that's what the devil wants you to think. This planet ain't going nowhere. This world, yeah, it's doomed. It's dark, it's doomed. But this planet in God's world, man, never felt better. Never felt better. The air never got fresher. Everything that you ever dreamed, everybody that's going on the other side now, I ain't talking about the ones who stand with this heat gasket over there. You know, I'm talking about the ones who choosing to walk with God. I don't want anybody to think, I don't want you leaving here thinking fear. Because you've been taught, fed, and somebody been trying to force feed you fear since you was in your mama's womb. Somebody was trying to force feed you fear. And I'm simply here saying that if God is your father, then you are an extension. You are an extension. And it's just like this. The same way you would want to see your child grow up and stand up and walk and stand up and talk and rule over this planet the way God wants us to. That's what he wants us to do. He don't want us in a situation. He didn't create us in a way where everything we do, we got, God, where you at, man? Come save me. Come. I can't do this. No. He created us in his likeness and image. So that means he created us to be just like him. We are an extension of God. So that means that we can do the same things that he did. That means you got the same power that your daddy got. If you believe it. If you believe it, you are the same. You walk around saying it. Now we at a place where you're going to have to put up. You're going to have to prove it. We've been running around here, running to the church. Man, pray this, pray that, beg God for this. Lord, please give me that. God gave you everything that he got. God gave every last one of us everything that's in him. So there is no reason. There is no reason for any of us to not have everything that we want, because you have the mind. And if you have the mind, that's it. That is it. Everything else must submit to the power of your mind. That's why this devil is out here fighting so hard for control over your mind and the way that you think, the way you believe. If this devil can make you believe, oh, you can't do that. And if you believe it, then he's right. Do you understand that whatever you believe, you're right? Do you understand that whatever you believe, you are correct? Because that's how powerful your mind is. You have control over you. You can't control what somebody else is going to do. So don't even try to go down that road right there. That's the devil. That's the devil's whole job, to try to make everybody think he can control over them. He doesn't. He cannot. You control you. Take that and grind with that, work with that, wake up, sleep with that, knowing you control you. You control you, man. Ain't no boogeyman coming to get you tonight. Ain't no boogeyman under your bed or in the closet. Nowhere. They showed us cartoons when we was children so that we would believe that kind of stuff. And it'll stay with you for your whole life until somebody tell you, man, ain't no daggone boogeyman under your bed. Ain't nothing there to fear but fear itself. And when you thinking, because everybody kind of thinking to themselves, even right now, like, wow, I hope I don't be thinking like that later. It ain't nothing out here that can do nothing to you. Okay, nothing. You are an extension of your father. As long as your father's God, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Now, if you was, for the rest of these demons just following they daddy, you get what you get. You know what I'm saying? And you get what you get, man. You get what you deserve. But the rest of us, we on something different, man. We in a whole different place. And I'm telling everybody here, yeah, it's going to look crazy. It's going to get crazy. You know that it's supposed to get so bad that they said that I think the Bible tells us that it's going to make the hair on a baby turn gray, turn white. That's how bad it's going to get out here in these streets, right? The hair on a baby. Y'all imagine a baby walking down the street with gray hair? I can't imagine, but I can imagine. Yes, I can. In this world, everything goes. The truth is stranger than fiction, ladies and gentlemen. The truth is stranger than fiction. So I just want y'all to walk out of here this evening knowing that you control your vessel and you are an extension of your father. Okay? We're going to leave y'all just like we came in here with nothing but love, peace, and soul train. Thanks, HB, for coming through and hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Joanne, running for Congress, y'all. Keisha, you know we appreciate you. Keisha always take us to that next level every single night we in here. Listen, y'all, we had a wonderful time with y'all tonight, and we going to see y'all next week because y'all know we do what we do. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Good night, all.
Right.
All right, y'all.